Yep.
I'd like to call to order the Landmarks Commission meeting for May 26th, 2026. The time is currently 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
Roger White,
Here.
Whit Wardell,
Here.
Patrick Lynch,
Here.
Carol DeGrasso,
Here.
Rich Dobda here, David Kirkcraft here, Pete Lynch.
Here. I get an approval of minutes for the April 27th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of April 27th.
I'll second.
Roger White,
Yes.
Whit Wardell,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Abstain.
Pete Lynch,
Yes.
Rich Dobda, yes, Carol DeGrasso,
Yes.
David Kirkcraft.
Yes.
The first application on tonight's agenda is CA 26013. Address is 80 West Waterloo Street. The request this evening is for a new wall sign on the front of the building. Here's a more recent photograph of the subject property. This was a residential home that was constructed around 1888. In the 1990s, it was converted to commercial use. The applicant is seeking approval to replace this element on the front portico gable with a new sign. The sign contractor has noted that this element is a vinyl applique that has been added to the front of the building. They're looking to remove that and put up the Carmen Orthodontics logo. The logo is noted to be made out of dimensional aluminum lettering and applied directly to the face of the portico. This property has currently the monument sign up front and has a sign at the back entry of the building letting patrons know where they're located at. This is just the branded logo itself on that front component of the building.
Is the applicant present? Yes. If you wouldn't mind stepping up and signing in, please. Andrew, just to clarify, it's just the logo, there's no other verbiage here?
That's correct.
Sorry, got it. And the address numbers is going away as well?
It would be preferable that the logo be on that particular area alone, and the address could be affixed to along the door, either side of the door entrance itself. Somewhat, the current logo, the current address is slightly, it's a little bit small. It's also hidden, shaded due to the way that the eave hangs over. I think that would be a little bit better to have that address further down, closer to the door, maybe slightly darker, slightly larger if necessary.
Is that flat space right above the door, is that big enough to do the address on there? Looks like there's some dental molding or something in there below the light, but looks like there might be a space big enough for it.
Yeah, it could fit. It might need to be slightly smaller, but I think the focus would be on making it, identifying it with darker color. There's a porch light at that spot as well, so they can be seen at night. Not that the business is open that late, but maybe over the winter hours it would be dark. They can see the address.
Is the existing sign out in the yard going to stay, or is that being removed?
The existing ground graphic would remain.
That'll remain.
But it'll match the new logo treatment?
Yes, it will be a different color. The current graphic is white,
Yeah.
and the new graphic would be black to contrast better with the siding on the facade.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the logo, it doesn't say Carmen on it, just the logo itself, right?
Correct.
And what's behind that, where you take the fan off, or is that just, so you're just keeping what is behind that fan?
Correct. We're not intending to change the existing material behind the graphic that's affixed to, unless it's damaged. Once it's presumed that it'll be able to remove the existing element and just replace, there may be to paint that slightly or make it a little bit better, but I don't think there's any kind of reconstruction or deconstruction necessary because this graphic is extremely light, it's very flat. It doesn't require, even though we have an engineer drawing with it, it's really quite small and in contrast, only 2 feet.
So it's
So it's
not really
basi-
considered per se a sign, it's more just the logo up there.
So it's just for aesthetics. It's, I mean, you've already identified the business with the sign in the yard, which I think people will look at before they see the logo. I don't know.
I would think, yeah, the other thing, my concern is the quantity of signs per facade. And it's obviously it's limited to one, but if this is looked at as a logo per se, not necessarily a sign, then maybe that's the way around. I don't think the fan there really gives a whole lot of decor.
I mean, it looks like a graphic, I mean, a very clean, streamlined graphic element.
right.
And so I don't think it'll compete.
And what are you thinking about
necessarily.
putting above the door, underneath the porch?
Between the door and the roof line of the
Yeah.
porch probably would be the relocation of the address numbers.
Above, on the header above the door.
Correct.
Perfect.
Andrew, does the city take into account like square footage based on frontage? Like this wouldn't put Carmen over their sign allotment, would it?
So this would be, I think, at the very maximum amount of signage they could have for the business. We allow for a sign facing the main road, and then if you have side or rear parking with a side or rear entrance facing the parking, then you get a second wall sign. And then any business, as long as they have the proper frontage, can have the freestanding sign. This one's a little on the extreme end because the freestanding sign is not quite a 45-degree angle. It's like a 60-degree angle. I mean, in this picture, you can read it twice, more or less. While this would be, by all intents and purposes, per code for like the maximum, it is probably an extreme example for, how you could do signage on a site. And
Yeah, I mean, typically above a door, you're gonna want like wayfinding signage, and I wouldn't constitute that as wayfinding, but I also don't mind it because of the type of logo that it is, but if Carmen vacates this space after a certain time and somebody wants to put like an additional sign there, I think that might be a little bit too much. Again,
Yeah,
I think this works just because it's kind of just an okay-looking logo for this.
Yeah, from my end, it's not about the content, it's about the quantity.
Right.
And so that's how I would also ask the commission to also have this into their review, because you can't regulate content of signage, but you can regulate size and quantity.
Is that true for double-sided signs if it were 45? And it was just front, back, coming east-west, that still be the case?
So when our code allows signage like this if it's only one-sided.
Only one-sided?
Correct.
I can't think of another instance where we had just a logo.
Right.
So it's been an additional sign. It's a little different.
Well, a lot of times the logo could be more of a sign. This logo is such that it looks,
Andrew,
it could just be
I need help with this laptop. My screen went blank.
Try wiggling the mouse.
What's that?
Try wiggling the mouse, see if it just fell asleep. No?
The only additional
No.
content on the facility itself and the structures on the rear, there's the word entrance over an awning. There is no other naming or brand identification or logo anywhere else in the structure other than the front yard, where predominant amount of the traffic would go. Parking in the rear directed to the entrance. Individuals can park and come onto the front entrance if they wish, but Generally are directed to the rear.
I'm kind of looking at it as if, like you said, Rich, if someone vacates and someone else comes along, they don't want that there. I mean, it does kind of stand up on its own. It would look fine with or without anything there. So. Have any further questions? I'd like to make a motion to approve CA-26-013 with the one condition that we relocate the address numbers to the horizontal space above the door, otherwise as presented.
Second.
Okay.
Roger White,
Yes.
Whit Wardell,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Yes.
Pete Lynch,
Yes.
Rich Dobde, yes, Carol DeGrasso,
Yes.
David Kirkcraft.
Yes.
Dave, was that you second?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Moore, just to guess the process, what is the next step in our filing?
Just submit the sign permit application tomorrow, and then I'll stamp it, add the approval number for tonight's meeting, and I'll talk to you about the next steps tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. And you can email that to me as well.
Thank you.
The next application on tonight's agenda is CA 26014. Address is 159 Washington Street. The request is for new asphalt shingles on the subject property. This subject residential home was before the Landmarks Commission last month to modify the fence type within the front yard. Within days after the meeting, the applicant's contractor reached out to me. They wanted to get a permit to put on a new roof on this house. The existing shingles on the home were kind of a mix between a 3-tab and dimensional and a kind of faded gray color. Your packet has some photos of the wind damage and weather damage that the existing roof has. Homeowners wanted to change the color of this roof to a more earth tone color. With the color change itself, that's what instituted the Landmarks Commission review process. Timing couldn't have been worse because they were before the Landmarks Commission like 3 or 4 days before, so I feel terrible I had to make them wait until the next meeting, but here they are this evening. If you guys have any questions for me, glad to help answer. This one's relatively simple. They're just looking to alter the color for the shingle on the house.
Looks like that roof is pretty close to the end of its
Oh, yeah.
span.
Yeah. Can't match the color, so insurance agreed that they can replace the whole thing because we lost maybe a 3-foot by 2-foot section of shingles. It's covered by tarp. It's been that way since March.
And the color that we see on our screen is pretty much, what says drip shake.
Yeah, I've got the actual color in here if you want to see it in person instead of just on the screen. That way it's a little bit easier to see.
Yes, please.
It looks pretty close to what's existing in this.
Yeah, we tried to match it
According
to
to
the
these.
best
This
we
one?
could. This one right here, yeah.
Okay.
From the shingles that fell off the roof, we kind of compared and we're like, this is the closest.
So that's
we
got
can
some
get.
grays.
Yeah, so
specs
it's
in
a grayish
it.
brown color. That one right there.
This guy.
Third one down, yep. Because I know computers are blind to your eyes.
Thank you,
So that
yeah.
you see different colors.
Which one?
This third one down,
Oh,
there,
that
shade
one.
right there.
I like it.
All right, thank you.
It's also the one the wife liked the most, and
Well, there you
Well.
go. That's all that matters.
happy wife, happy life, you know, guys?
Isn't
Not that I'm trying to sway you or anything, you know?
Is there any other trim work going on with the roof repair to the fascia or anything like that?
So there are a couple things that they're bringing up to code. If you look on the backside of the fireplace chimney, there is not what's called a cricket, basically a device that wicks waters in 2 different directions, so it doesn't just sit right there. And the boards underneath are also the old style, just wooden slats, and they're going to upgrade that free of charge to the new OSB style framing, so that way everything's up to code and say for another 150 years or whatever.
So they're gonna go over the entire roof with OSB?
Correct.
And
Correct,
build a
yep.
cricket behind the chimney there?
Yes.
But no changes to the existing fascia or?
No, nothing like that or anything, just basically everything underneath. They're gonna bring it all up to code, because you know,
Do you
old
know-
house, roof
Does the
wasn't.
current roof had have drip edge?
Yes, yes, it does.
Okay.
Assuming you'll be keeping that white.
Correct.
Will there be a cricket on the chimney in the back, or just one towards the front?
Both.
Both,
If
okay.
they're both required. I'm not positive, I can't remember if he said that one had a cricket or not, but that one in the front definitely didn't. When it was replaced originally. So he is going to, because we had enough money allotted from the insurance company, he's going to build a cricket onto it, so that way it's also up to code. And we
Okay.
won't have to pay anything extra for it.
I don't see any, is that a ridge vent then?
He is adding a ridge vent in, because it's not ridge vented at all right now. It's just the, what's the one that's called, that's on the sides?
Like gable?
Gable.
Yes, gable, thank you.
So it's got like a gable, lattice gable vent?
Yes, it's the old school style where it's
Yeah.
literally like just a gap in the roof that you can literally look and see light coming in, like it's the original style. So he's going to add a ridge vent to the roof to add better ventilation, because we lose a lot of heating and cooling up there
Are
as
you
well.
replacing the soffits, to vent the soffits too?
No, the soffits are staying as they are, because those are still fine, but it's just the ridge vent right down the middle of the track of the roof.
Are the soffits vented?
Yes. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that, because
I mean, the soffits are vented.
Yeah, where does it vent to?
it literally just goes right down the sides of the house. Unfortunately, you can't see it from those pictures. It literally just right down the sides. The roofing contractor went up to the attic and was able to find the stuff. I'm not a roofing contractor, and my roofing contractor unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, so I can answer to the best of my ability, but
So Dave, it may have the old holes in the soffit that allow the heat to get up, and it's just venting out each end.
Yeah.
What he's talking about with the slits.
I mean, usually a ridge vent
It's not a
doesn't
very
do a
good
whole
vent.
lot if there's not ventilation, cross ventilation.
yeah, that's why it
Or
doesn't
somewhere.
vent well right now, because there is no ridge vent, and so we just have the ventilation on the side, so there's nothing really pulling the air
Okay.
through
Okay.
to make it an actual ventilation. It gets hot as can be in the summertime and cold as can be in the wintertime.
Any further questions, gentlemen?
No.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve application CA-26-014 as presented, with the one condition that the drip edge is to stay white to match the existing trim.
Second.
Roger White,
Yes.
Whit Wardell,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Yes?
Pete Lynch,
Yes?
Rich Dobda, yes, Carol DeGrasso,
Yes.
David Kirkcraft.
Yes.
Good luck.
Awesome, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys.
Next item, CA 26015, address is 46 East Columbus Street. The applicant is requesting to install a new fence to extend the existing style of the fence within the rear yard. Subject home was constructed between 1840 and 1850. Has had a number of landmarks approvals since the early 90s, noted in your staff report. Most recent approvals are in 2024 with new metal roof on the barn in the rear of the property and 12 new vinyl windows on select locations on the front of the home. The applicant is looking to install a new fence section along the driveway, separating or enclosing a portion of the rear yard. Just very roughly, I try to draw in here kind of a box to show you, about where that fence location would be. Try to give it a little bit of scaling just for visual purposes for the height. The applicant is looking to match the kind of scalloped fence style that's existing there, but to enclose off a portion of the rear yard.
You mean the style is gonna be like the white fence?
The white fence is on this property, so
Right,
it's
okay.
gonna match it.
Okay.
So is that a 6-foot height then, or the?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Why is that going to be 6 foot high on, what's the reason for the 6 foot height of the fence?
Honestly, it was just to match the other style, or to match the height of the other fence.
Okay. Would you be opposed to dropping that fence down so it doesn't look like a really tall fence inside of a tall fence, which
No, we are not opposed to that.
I would highly recommend it, yeah. Just
Okay.
from an aesthetic standpoint, it looked like you're going down a tunnel
Yeah.
if you put that 6 foot on both
Yeah.
sides. Drop that down to like 36 inches.
Okay.
And I don't know if that fence really needs to match in style the existing fence, in my opinion. I think it could be even if you wanted to do a simple picket, I don't see any real need to
Okay.
match that scallop.
I think
Unless
it's-
that's something, what's
Same.
that?
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity to really blend it more in with the landscaping.
Okay.
I think you'll lose the proportions if you do it really 36-inch high with to match the 6-foot high fence.
Yeah,
I
'cause
think, no, I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
this is about 4, this section.
Yeah, even that I think would probably be a little,
Yeah, I think you really don't need the arch. I think if you stuck with the same size, same width pickets and even, square topped it without even having the decorative posts in between. You're gonna have to have some posts, but I don't,
is the idea to screen cars, or are we trying to keep pets in?
Pets.
Pets in, that
Yeah.
was my first guess.
Yep.
are they big dogs?
Yeah, well, we have one German Shepherd, it's 3 dogs, but they are getting older, and so they're not gonna be jumping over it. That was, they will not be jumping over it.
Could a younger dog jump a 3-foot fence?
One of them, yes, because she's very, very athletic, I think.
Andrew, in this situation, which side of the fence should face outward?
Well, I believe the existing fence that's there on this side, this is the beauty side facing outward. With this location, I think Pat said it well, it's a fence within a fence, it really is up to the commission on which side you'd want to face. I would say that the driveway side would be the only side visible from the general public at certain angles. But
Well, probably from
I-
aesthetic use, may be that the structure side goes towards the driveway, and then you got structure on each side, and then
I was-
the usage would be more in the yard, correct? I mean,
Yes, yeah.
that'd be where the aesthetic would,
I would say finish side facing the driveway, or
Oh,
you
really?
create a fence that is
Yeah.
same both sides.
uh,
So instead of using a 2x4 runner on one side and picking on the other, use 1x4 runners on both sides and sandwich it so it looks the same on both sides.
Okay.
That'd be another
Yeah.
way to do it.
yeah.
I think I would have to agree with Mr. Lynch there in that looking to the north and the west, you're gonna see the inside frame. So I
Correct.
think you'd wanna see that all the way around, probably with the finished side towards the driveway.
Correct,
That makes
yes.
sense.
Yeah, so finish side facing away from the house and to the driveway. Unless,
So-
of course, like I say, you use a two-sided fence.
So it's going to look just like the 6-foot high fence. You're going to see the horizontals. Is that what you're saying?
Two
the
of them.
opposite.
You would see 2 horizontals.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But from the yard, from the street, you'd see the finished fence.
But it just seems like
See, I just thought they said the
people
opposite.
seeing it would be the people
She
in the
did.
car driving in the driveway.
Or people walking down the sidewalk. You can see that driveway pretty well from the sidewalk, walking down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would see the finished side then from the street and
Correct.
driveway side, which I think would
Yeah.
be best.
I think your best solution is to figure out a way to get a good side on both sides of the fence.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably the best.
That's your best solution, I
Mhm.
think.
Is there a not to exceed number there, I guess, when we're talking about not a privacy fence? I know we had some numbers, or what's the lowest it can go? Looks like you could go 32 or 36 inches and probably be fine. That looks pretty high at the top of the arch. I'm not sure you would want to go quite that high.
yeah, that was honestly part of why I put this visual in there, because this picture I thought was a really good example of that.
You think just a few inches above the second rail there, somewhere in that range would be?
It says the setback fence is 3 foot tall. Would that be comparable to?
I just wonder, 3 foot at what point?
Oh, I thought,
It looks
yeah.
taller than 3 at the top of the
At the
arch.
top, yeah.
This,
Could be.
I believe this is a 4-foot section.
Okay.
But if
at peak.
if he's at 3 feet, he doesn't even need a permit. Right, Andrew?
We require fence permits for any type of fence, no matter the height.
Okay.
So we think it's somewhere in that 3 to 3.5 foot range?
Yeah, just simply from what's stated in there.
You think that's high enough for the dogs?
It's pushing it a little bit, but I think so.
It's
yeah.
pushing too low.
A little bit, yeah. We would be more comfortable with 36, 36, but we would be open to lower if you all would recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you could go in that 36 to
36,
42
yeah.
range, and just
Absolutely.
getting up to 4 foot, you start to
Right.
get real
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think 36 would be fine.
I'm comfortable up to 42 inches, I think.
So why don't we say a minimum 36?
I would set a max, not a minimum.
And a max,
Max would be 42.
Yeah. Just, I think from a logistics standpoint, a minimum fence is wild. A maximum fence.
2
is
stories
probably-
high.
Yeah, a maximum fence height is probably
it
like.
might just go like this.
Yeah.
So maximum of 36, is that what you're saying,
I think
minimum?
42.
Minimum
36 to
36.
42.
Maximum 42, between 36 and 42 inches. And then the pickets, you got 1x6. It looks like 1x6 slats on that fence. The existing one, I don't think you need to go that wide. I think like just 1x4 slats would be fine.
Okay.
Spacing, whatever space, inch and a half, 2-inch spacing between pickets. 2x4 runners or 1x4s on either side where it's same both sides, which looks nice too. And then whatever kind of finial you want to put on top, whatever kind of cut. Do we have a problem with the pointed finials on pickets? If memory serves me right, we've had people flat cut the pointed pickets, is that correct?
You talking about like a dog-eared picket?
Like
The
either
actual
a
pointed
dog
point.
ear or, if someone wants to do like an OG or something, and it comes to a point like a Gothic picket, is there a problem with that, or does it have to be a flat blunt?
I think it's just a matter of
Point.
preference, but I just don't know that I would start mixing too many. You've already got arches, so to go flat, then to add a point in there, it might start to get kind of busy.
Simpler, better.
Yeah, I'm not even sure you need the finial, really, on a, I guess maybe you do, because it's probably, finials are probably on the west and north side of the fence there too, right?
We're closing on the house on Friday.
Okay.
So I've not been able to dig too deep into it, to be honest.
Right, I thought this was the one that was for sale.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful house, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It looks like the finials are in the back also. I would imagine they would be, so probably.
Yeah, it looks like fall finials go all the way down.
Probably would want to follow.
Do we
suit
even
then.
need those on this fence?
I don't think you would need it on the 3-foot tall fence, unless you really want them.
I'm afraid we're gonna get it to where we're trying to match something and it's not gonna match. And it's gonna look like a hodgepodge of,
Yeah, because those finials,
Details.
it'd probably be hard to match the finial, exactly.
I'd say keep it as simple as we could.
Exactly. yeah.
Okay.
So you think just a dog-eared picket or a straight-cut picket?
I'd say straight.
Straight
I'd
cut.
say straight.
Straight cut, space allowed between it, even though that's a solid fence?
I would just keep the spacing the same. Looks like a couple inches in there, I think.
Couple inch spacing between?
Whatever the existing is. Yeah, whatever, matching existing.
And then the post would be
4x4,
4x4.
pressure treated?
You're gonna paint it all, right?
Yes.
How quick do you want to paint it?
Basically as soon as possible, I guess.
Pressure treated, you would probably want to wait like a whole season.
Oh, really?
Before you
Okay.
paint it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to paint it right away, I'd recommend using cedar.
Okay, got it.
cedar will hold up a lot better down the road too. It won't do this over
Okay.
time, which pressure treated does.
Got it.
Yeah,
So just
costs a
for-
little bit more, but better finish.
We were, I think, not going to, we were gonna do unpressure treated cedar was the preliminary plan.
Okay.
So just for my clarity, if the board could clarify, we're talking about if you take this panel, you chop it to be within 36 to 42 inches tall, then everything in the upper half just is like gone, and that's what we're left with for this design. It's just a simplified version of the existing panel, just without the scallops, without the finials, without the,
Yeah, I mean, your posts would stick up a little higher than the
Right.
top of the fence.
okay, I just want to make sure I was on the same page on what I was imagining the vision going.
Would anyone like to make a motion?
Did you get all the specs for all that?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay, I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve application, which one is it? CA-26-015 with the following conditions. That the height of the fence will be between 36 and 42 inches. It'll be a flat top. The pickets will be 1x4. That's what we, with 4x4
Yeah.
post.
Correct.
No finials,
No finials.
and the spacing to match the existing.
Mhm.
I'll second that.
David Craycraft,
Yes.
Carol DeGrasso,
Yes.
Rich Dobde, yes. Pete Lynch,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Yes.
Whit Wardell,
Yes.
Roger White.
Yes.
We did not specify whether that was cedar or pressure treated, whichever you decide. I'd recommend cedar.
Got it.
If you, especially if you want to paint it right away.
Okay, got it.
Good luck.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
neighborhood.
You new to town?
Yes,
we're from Welcome.
Cleveland.
Welcome to town.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're all neighbors.
The next application is CA 26016, address is 260 North High Street. The request is for 12 new vinyl windows on the subject property. This residential home was constructed in 1922. Could not find any record of it going before the Landmarks Commission since it was added to the district in 2003. The applicant is seeking approval to replace 12 of the original 4/1 windows on the first floor. That project also includes removing the aluminum storm windows on those 12 windows that will be replaced with new white vinyl windows. The applicant's contractor, I just did a couple snippets here from the emails that were in your packet, that there'll be new 12 double hung windows. All the windows will include grids to have a similar look to what's on the home. Those grids will be in between the panes of glass. The applicant's contractor notes they don't anticipate any changes to the exterior trim as a result of the new work. And they've provided cut sheets of all of the 12 windows just to show the variation in sizes when they did the measurements. This little detail here is just from one of them, just noting that the grids are internal, and then also showing the difference from the interior and exterior, and the kind of details to that window. Only provided a couple photos on the PowerPoint here, but the rest are in your packet. Applicant's here to answer any questions you guys have about the project.
Is there any, I mean, is this due to repair work that's not able to be done, or what's the motivation about replacing the windows?
Well, the windows are 104 years old, and they don't move very well.
Okay.
Plus, they're covered with storm windows, I guess is the correct term. And so they're not energy efficient, and so it's just primarily ease of operation, the ability to be able to wash them more easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's an interior oak laminate?
The interior of the windows, they're wooden oak.
Yeah.
So these are original windows.
Correct.
Have you ever had anyone come out to talk to you about the function or to see why they're not working properly?
No.
The pictures you show, the windows look in some of the best shape of any old windows I've seen.
Really? Interesting.
will sec- I will second
think
that.
that's why Carol was asking the question, because I'm looking at these windows thinking, good God, the pictures I'm seeing, they look really nice.
Did it
And-
matter to you that like the glazing is all coming off of the outside and the paint on the outside is starting to deteriorate? I don't know, we've got like the wavy glass windows,
Oh,
you know,
nice.
which are charming, but,
But it's mostly, it sounds like the exterior that kind of sounds like it's in disrepair most.
especially on the south side of my house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is there, I mean, maybe exploring an exterior kind of remedy and saving the wood windows? They're beautiful, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, so
Indeed
that's
they
what I
are.
thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's very few photographs of the outside except for the very end here, and even those don't really show the kind of damage that you're speaking of, although I can imagine the glazing probably needs some work at this point
Well,
in their
it's
life.
coming off in big chunks.
Yeah.
It is what it does. Usually, with my experience with these wood windows, is that the stops can come off and they can take the sashes out. They probably have the old weights still behind the jamb. Sometimes those weights, the ropes break off, and so you have some windows that won't stay up, and then other ones that are hard to get up. So you can take that part of the jamb out and they can replace those weights.
You mean you
They-
can?
I
But
can.
it's possible
I've
to
done
do.
many of those in the past, and I specialize in historic home renovations, so we do a lot of that.
Okay.
But a lot of times when they're sticking, they just get swollen over time. Sometimes it's the amount of finish that keeps getting added over years. So a good carpenter could take those out and sand the windows down a little bit and get them working a little bit better. But like Mr. Lynch here said, when I'm looking at these from the interior, they're some of the best looking wood windows I've seen. Usually when people come and they want to replace those, they're in terrible, terrible shape. The glazing on the outside is just something that comes with old windows. Sometimes you have to reglaze those. We just got done doing a whole house full of that, actually. But I guess it comes down to the storms. Some people have a hard time operating or opening the windows if these storms do they have to totally come out each year? Do you have to pull your storms out, or do they have an actual, looks like they have a storm window?
They slide up and down.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but, you know, then I have the inside of the windows, the outside of the windows, the inside of the storm windows, the outside of the storm windows, and I mean, maybe I should look into just having somebody fix them, because sometimes what happens, like I will open a window, and the top part comes down,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't want to go back up, so then I need two people to help me actually even close the window so that I can latch it.
I've had, my windows are all pulley windows, and I had a busted window, and I had somebody to come in and fix the pulley on it as well. And I have a couple more that need to be done. You know, it just happens over years, but it is possible to have that all repaired.
So to replace like the rope and pulley?
Yes.
Okay.
And it does require disassembling the window, but, I mean, this is what they do, these historic, and I don't have a name for you or anything like that. It's been several years ago, but they're beautiful windows.
How many windows? You said 12?
12.
Yes, I was, because of the expense, I was just going to do like the main level. In the house, there are 22 windows altogether, because I've got a second floor.
Yeah.
And so I was going to do it in phases, but maybe, I'm just saying, maybe I could save myself some money
A lot
by
of
just
money.
replacing
And I-
what's there.
Maybe you
And-
could
and
do
I-
them all.
And I really think that you're diminishing the value of the home
Really?
by putting in these vinyl windows.
It looks like
Because I was thinking it would increase the value
I
of
think
the
it would.
house. But
Like,
they've never been painted. They are beautiful.
Yeah, not really,
Yeah.
so. special.
Even my old house, I have a couple windows that are original, and they hold up quality-wise better than any of the new windows that were put in. They don't rot, they don't twist it, they function better and hold up a lot longer than any of the vinyl windows. That's why I was questioning the replacement of them, because from what I'm not seeing a lot of rot. If you're getting a lot of rot in these windows, then I would understand wanting to replace them, but I'm not seeing that. Glazing can be fixed, pulleys can be fixed. Rotted wood, it's a different game. But these things would probably outlast anything that you could replace them with.
Okay,
Yeah, in my opinion.
yeah,
Of course, that's what we're up here for, is to give opinion, yeah.
of course.
I think you couple that with what's presented on this application as well, is that the interior is gonna be kind of faux finished, and I think that will, like you said, Roger, really diminish value by not having something authentic in there.
Yeah, because, I mean, vinyl windows are vinyl windows. I mean,
Yeah.
but they do have, apparently they can paint them to, there's an oak color that that this company uses that matches the color of the windows that are there now, but, and the outside's white. And they're energy efficient, but honestly, for $35,000, I could probably buy a lot of natural gas.
Yes, you could.
There's quite a few studies that actually show that old storm windows like yours that are installed properly, that aren't leaking, are just as efficient, if not better, than a lot of the new, argon-filled windows. So you've got a good thing. You just need to find the right person. I wouldn't hire any handyman to come do it, because you need someone that's experienced with the weights and pulleys and knows what they're doing.
Okay,
how to
so
take the
could you
window.
make some suggestions on contractors?
I probably could, but I'm not on the spot here. I'd have to talk to
Okay.
a couple
I know
people.
that I had looked at the Ohio History Connection, because they had a list of people who
Okay.
do historic.
Ohio History Connection.
Connection, but I mean, I'm not prepared to give you a name or either, but you might try.
I'll make a note of that, okay.
Columbus Restoration Company is another. They sub out to all kinds of restorations, so they do a lot of window work, I'm sure, as well, or at least know the people who can do it for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that. So,
For another reference, we do sometimes approve vinyl windows within historic and preservation districts, but we do not approve vinyl windows ever that have grids between the glass. So if you were to do this and you decide, hey, I just can't do that option, and you come back for us, you do need to have a true simulated divided light window that's got the grids on the outside of the glass, not sandwiched in between.
not in between.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay. Because that would match the appearance
It
that's there
does.
now.
Yeah,
I
it
get
gives it that dimension
Okay.
that it needs.
So, all right, let me just put this in the form of a question. So I signed a contract with the understanding that I had to come here to get the approval. So if you don't approve my application, I bet I can get out of the contract.
I would assume so.
I heard that.
Yeah, so the way that, from my end, is if they vote on the application as presented and it's not approved, then you'll get a letter in the mail tomorrow letting you your application was denied as presented. And then that's your official record of the discussion here with the Landmarks Commission.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Seems like a good way to go.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion we approve application CA 26016.
I'll second that.
Approve.
It's just, we're looking at it. Yes.
Roll call, Roger White,
No?
Whit Wardell,
No.
Patrick Lynch,
No.
Carol DeGrasso,
No,
Rich Dobden, no, Dave Craycraft.
No.
Pete Lynch.
No.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you for your advice. I do really appreciate it. Do you need me to sign in?
Please.
Please, yes.
You can't bring forward a negative motion.
I didn't realize
So,
that,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's always confusing first time.
I'm like,
I didn't know what was going on.
The next application, CH
Thank you.
26017. This is for 121 West Columbus Street. The applicant is requesting approval to construct an attached pergola on the rear of the subject home over the existing patio. This residential home was constructed in 1908. The project received a approval in 2022 for a large addition rehabilitation of the existing structure. The applicant is requesting approval to construct a 16 by 16 foot pergola attached to the rear of the home. The applicant has noted that this structure will be constructed out of pressure-treated lumber. However, the details that were provided are kind of limited to what's on the screen here this evening.
No indication that it's gonna be painted.
I do not believe so. The graphic shows it's like whitewashed, but nothing was clear. But when I scanned it, it kind of came in black and, or like a gray and white photo.
So that's
but-
like their inspiration photo.
Correct, yeah. I don't see the applicant here this evening, so,
Do we have any other photos of that from the side view, from the side street? Or is
Of
it
the
just-
home?
Just the front there?
so from an aerial perspective, the pergola would only be visible from Franklin Street in the very back. This is the approximate location where they're looking to place it.
Okay.
And I will note that just from my administrative end, I've had lots of people ask about pergolas within the last 6 months. We may have a record year of pergola applications before Landmarks Commission, so just be aware that there's at least 3 more I'm talking to people about submittal processes for. So I don't know if that's in trend right now, but it's very unusual for me to see that many in Old Town.
I don't personally have an issue with this, but just the lack of details, I would recommend we table it without knowing
What-
what the finish is gonna be or what other details or.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I mean, other than, they didn't share anything with me. This is my
Okay.
brother-in-law, and this is the first time I've seen it. Okay, I mean, I saw it when you sent it to me. So this is actually the second time I've seen it.
Lives across the street.
Yeah, literally. I mean, do we know if it's gonna look just like this picture?
I was gonna say, if
Or
it-
is it?
I'm gonna
could-
say
could be-
yes.
Yeah, it's unclear, so from my end, I don't know if this is 16 by 16 in this example. If there's gonna be 3 like posts, like this example, I do know that this visual for how it's connected to the house with support, on the outside edge was verbally discussed, but in terms of like this detail to the lumber, size of lumber, it does say pressure treated for material, but,
I'm gonna, well,
I know the brackets are gonna attach to the patio, like those bear claws, Simpson strong tie brackets. So that is as much as I do know.
Right to the existing slab?
Correct.
This one kind of reminds me of that Crabtree project on East Columbus Street where it's wanting to build something, but just not enough detail to it.
Right.
And if we've got a bunch more of these coming, and we're approving something based on, I hate to say, a napkin sketch, I don't know, I think we're making things more challenging for ourselves. I'd like to see a lot more detail. And though they want to build this out pressure treated, that is their prerogative, that is going to look like a mess in about 5 years.
you mean the post could be like,
Well, the posts are one thing, but the top, because there's nothing really locking it in place, it'll get all whopper-jawed down the road. I mean, it'd be like putting pressure treated siding on the side of a house, you just wouldn't do it. but.
Yeah, even with the
you
purlins
know,
there on top, it's still.
What's that?
Even with those purlins on the top to help the spacing.
Oh, purlins on top won't do
Yeah,
anything
it's
to
not
keep
gonna-
that
not
stuff
gonna
from
help much.
twisting. No, no.
So going forward, and the other pergolas that we will probably look to see in the near future, should we tell them it should be made out of cedar?
I would recommend, I guess we can't, can we actually specify material used?
Absolutely.
But I think what we do for one, we should.
Do for all, there's no
Be
question
consistent,
about it,
I
yeah.
just can't say that cedar's gonna curl up a whole lot less than pressure treated. It depends on what you get and where you get it and how, you know. If I was gonna build something like this, I'd build it out of full 2.5 inch, by 10 inch tall material that's more like a beam, because it's not gonna twist.
We have one very similar, I live right next door, and we put it in early 90s, and it's
Still good.
Is it saw cedar?
It's a good, I was just wondering, because our fence and everything, just as old as it is really, I'll look into that, but it's not gonna help us tonight.
And some of them are built really well, but I can't tell you how many phone calls I've had to come fix these, just because they just don't hold up.
It could just be held up by monster wisteria that's.
Could be. The ones that I've seen that really hold up well are made with foreign wood, and they're beefier.
Is that thornwood?
Foreign
Foreign.
wood
Foreign
typically,
wood. Oh, like
I'm talking
Ipe?
high-end
Teak.
Ipe and mahogany and things that
Yeah,
are actually gonna hold up
Yeah.
well outside.
Very, very pricey, yeah.
It is pricey, but you build it once.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to build it 4 times over 20 years, so.
That is true.
Yeah.
So what should our minimum standard be for pergolas then?
I mean, this is standard what just about everybody builds. They just don't hold up real well, 'cause
It's just the nature of a pergola.
if I was recommending, or if it was a client of mine again, I would make it much beefier, much thicker to keep it from wanting to warp the cup. Lumber's just not what it used to be. It used to have old growth material that would stay pretty straight. Now there's just not near as big a trees. Getting much harder to get a piece of wood that big out of the trees that we have left. I would recommend we get some more information on this and have a little bit better plan. I don't think it needs a full architectural plan, but just some more specifics about what the finish is gonna be. Are they gonna paint it? I'm assuming they're probably gonna paint it if it's pressure treated. But I wouldn't wanna look at it from my neighbor's house if it was just pressure treated.
Okay.
No.
I can tell you my parents have 2 of these that are pressure treated.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It looks bad?
Yeah, they just have grayed out like really quickly, and then they get like, it looks like it was in like a salt storm in traffic where it has like drip lines, like where it's like anything that drips on it, that drip follows on the wood and stains it darker.
Mhm.
It has a very, they haven't warped, but they're also like really short sections. It's not 16 feet long. It's probably, 8 feet deep. And it's 22 feet wide. So it's like supported by 3 sections of roof. So it's a little bit like different, but from a material, I think you'd almost have to paint it. Or else it looks like just like it's been forgotten almost.
Yeah.
But then you'd be continuing to paint it.
Yeah. And I think personally, I think they look worse when you put like the canvas awnings over them, because then it like changes the moisture, like
Yeah.
retention.
My parents have one that's wrapped in vinyl, and I pressure wash it every year because it just turns green. So,
I mean, I think it's their prerogative at how they want to build it, as long as we've got some better details. It's, better material, and the beefier you make it, the longer it's gonna last, but we can only control that so much, I think.
Would you ever use pressure treated post and then wrap them with cedar or something like that?
You could. I mean, they make new 4-sided cedar structural posts now that are lock mitered together. Those are fantastic. They breathe. Keep them totally off the ground. They're hollow.
What's the brand, do you know?
84 carries them. Holmes carries them too. They're structural though, I mean, they'll hold a ton of weight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how great the hollow idea is, I'm sure they get full of bees and all kinds of things, but.
Yeah. So do we table this one?
I think so.
Yep.
Someone like to make a motion?
I move that we table CA 260117.
I'll second. Roll call, Pete Lynch,
Yes.
David Kirkhoff,
Yes.
Rich Dobda, yes, Carol DeGrasso,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Yes.
Whit Wardell.
Okay.
Yes.
I need to change, I need to abstain.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say, likewise abstain, if that's okay.
Roger White.
Yes.
I wasn't gonna forget you.
Well, oh, never mind.
Just a second.
Say who second?
Rich.
No, I said just a second.
Oh.
Okay. Last application on tonight's agenda, CA 26018. This is for exterior modifications to 74 North High Street. This residential home was constructed in 1949. This is one of the first national branded prefab homes that was in the city. Found that when I was doing a little research on the property. Also, this property, the photo, I tried to blow it up, but it's like the size of a postage stamp. Where this garage sits, let me back up, where this garage sits, there used to be a barn that was about twice its size in its location. It was almost 2 stories tall and had a cupola on the top of it. I don't know if the barn existed when the house got like assembled and it's on its site, but the photo I saw looked a lot older than the house. So just, if I could find a clear photo of that, I'll show it to you guys in the future. But it was a kind of interesting to see. It explains, I think, why the garage is where it's at, because it was probably bigger at one point in time. The applicant is requesting approval to kind of scratch the whole exterior of the house and start over, so to speak. This is the main house. The proportions of the house and the garage they look almost the same, so just kind of bear with me. When looking at the application in total, they're looking to remove the shingles, siding, windows, doors, shutters on the house and replace all those materials. The new shingles that are proposed are a GAF asphalt shingle that's in like a blue-green color. The siding that's on the house currently is vinyl. They're looking to replace that with new, I believe it's a 4-inch, not a Dutch lap, but kind of similar to a Dutch lap vinyl in the house. They're looking to replace that with a 7-inch Hardy siding, new Hardy trim, new wood-clad windows and doors, new black vinyl shutters, and the new K-style gutters for the garage, similar finishes, with the addition of a new insulated garage door. Applicant's kind of color palette here, just showing main siding, trim, and doors, red, white, and blue, oddly enough, on this screen here. And then with a green-blue dimensional asphalt shingle. One thing just to note, there's an error on this plan sheet. The drawings originally showed a shake siding on all of the house, but then the samples picture came that showed it was a lap siding. So the drawings were corrected to show the lap siding, but this detail sheet was not. So this red box just needs to be kind of over here on the plank side. Any questions? I would try to help answer. I didn't receive a whole lot of detail on this, other than kind of the couple slides and what you see in your packet.
The only thing, but I see the notes address it that I didn't see on my, the previous PDF, was it talked about exterior lighting, but it just, I noticed in the notes that it says just to replace the existing, which looks like on the front of the house, and there was no other detail than that. But that was the only thing I thought was kind of missing from the notes originally. I assume that's the only lighting they're asking to replace.
Great comment. Yeah, so there's a light on either side of the exterior doors. And then there is a light above the garage door. Cut sheets for those fixtures were not provided. I also did not receive cut sheets for what brand of windows or brand of doors, or shutters. I would say shutters I typically don't see cut sheets for too often, unless someone's doing something very specific. But kind of windows and doors and lights are kind of the three that I typically see with these applications.
It's unusual for Tom not to be here.
It is, it's us, isn't it? Andrew, it looks like there's just replacing windows kind of like for like, there's no grades or anything, I don't see.
Yeah, it's hard for me to determine. There was only 2 photos provided for the house, but based off the rest of the contents of the application, I didn't think they were going to be proposing any changes to window sizes or type of window. The one thing that is hard, I don't have the photo, but if you look in your packet on page 73, you can see the kind of the side profile of the house. It looks like they're adding shutters to elevations that didn't have shutters before. And then on my screen here, this giant window, it's labeled number 5. I noted that it has shutters that are not sized per the window. So I wasn't sure on the decision for the shutters, other than just to add some additional detailing to the house, but it looks like they're adding, it looks like the front of the house, the only shutters that exist today are these 2 windows, and the rest of the house does not have shutters.
That's the only window that would be inappropriately sized. Would it be hard for us to get, they wouldn't be able to do that with the light there.
Unless they were double shutters, so you would fold them and there'd be 2 on each side. You know what I mean? They'd be hinged, if you really wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like in this, on page 73, it looks like there's more space between the edge of the window and the door than the drawing does. Aside from not having a place to put the mailbox, I mean, you could actually make the shutters oversized. I think if you took the shutters off the place, it's not going to have a whole lot of appeal. I mean, it doesn't have a whole lot of historic architecture in any way. So it's not going to look all dramatically different, other than I'm assuming that's a 5 1/4 exposure lap on the siding, being a 7-inch. It's quite a bit bigger lap than what's on there now. Which may be what's underneath. It may have had like an 8-inch a bigger lap originally.
What siding's on there now? Is that vinyl?
It's vinyl,
Vinyl.
yeah.
Vast improvement now.
Agreed.
I see the front of a nice-looking car.
I mean, really, the trim package is pretty similar to what you see in any of the new subdivisions that are going in. But it's an upgrade to what's there now, for sure.
That'd be a huge upgrade, yeah.
Is there specs on the garage door at all?
No.
Andrew? Just that it's insulated and a whole bunch of panels?
Yeah, it just says, new insulated 16 by 7 garage door, color Arctic white.
I sure would like to see some more information on the windows and doors. I mean, the wood-clad windows sounds good, but Todd puts a lot of Sierra Pacific product in, so maybe.
Insulated garage door, track it over, door color Arctic white. Yeah, I'm pretty good with everything he's got here. And it looks like they're redoing all the trim on the fascia, soffit, everything. The only thing that concerns me about this, and I'm not real keen on architecture like this, where there's no rake on any of the gable ends. Is that something we can ask them to do?
So that was why I thought it was important to note in this application, this is a prefab home.
Yeah.
So I would say that all of the detail on the home is likely how it was originally constructed, other than the vinyl siding would likely replace aluminum. Just given the age in 49, I don't know if there was this type of vinyl in 49.
Yeah.
But the postage stamp photo I found with the bigger barn, it looked like the barn that was there was like old wood. So I'm assuming that when they, based off the photo of the garage and house, both of these were probably sited at the same time, so.
So you're saying, in keeping with the historic nature of the house, it would be wrong to add a rake?
My professional opinion is that since this house is a newer, older home, and it was very specific in its kit nature, that adding things that didn't exist to it is probably odd.
Detracts from it. Detracts from the historic nature of the house.
I think
Well,
this,
They
not
actually
have
have
the
one of
historic-
these COSI.
Yeah,
or
not as much
COSI,
value.
Can actually
Feels very
have
backwards.
one of those
Yeah.
prefab
Yeah.
kit homes.
I mean, I think it's good this is
It's a valid
spelling out
point.
because
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's-
the neighborhood north of the tracks is in sight for expansion, correct? So we've got that whole neighborhood that's what, 50s through 80s
Portions.
in there? Yeah. That's gonna be very similar to this, coming into the preservation district soon.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a whole lot more of this to deal with the not modifying some of these. So a lot of those are kind of a little more mid-century like, very much so. So, yeah. I think it's a big improvement. Do we need to know more about the windows and doors?
Would-
I guess
Are
that-
they maintaining the storm? They're putting the new wood panel? Just, I don't know, if that's something,
The storm door?
I didn't see any call out for it, so.
Well, track record, I'll say, of the property owner has been pretty good when it comes to historic preservation. I don't think that there'll be any shortcuts made.
I mean, can we take that into consideration?
Can we? We don't have to, but.
I mean, it's not really consistent on what we would normally ask.
I think we normally would require a lot more information on the windows and doors. What the manufacturer is and some more specifics for sure. Everything else, I think, like Pat said, I'm okay with. The lighting could be a little more specific. I'm not okay with vinyl shutters. I brought an alternative here that if he wants to do shutters, I would recommend something of that sort, but I don't think we've approved a vinyl shutter yet.
Is that what they called out on these plans, vinyl
They
shutters?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if we approved that on that front window, Dave had a good idea, you could do a double shutter that folds, but those skinny shutters would never have been put on it. That's a big window, I mean, that's gotta be at least 6 foot.
My guess is it was probably like a bay.
Originally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
Could have been.
removed.
But Pete, you made a comment.
Yeah.
This picture that
1949,
before us,
you're not gonna find
it looks like there could be at least
And a kid had-
30 inches maybe between the door and the
And the
edge
light.
of the shutter, whereas on the
Yeah.
drawing, it looks a lot
tighter.
tighter.
Yeah, I mean, if you took if you just went from the casing of the door to the edge of the window, you're 4 feet or better.
Yeah.
Or close to 4 feet, so I think you would have room. Might have to move your mailbox to the other side of the door. It would be much more
See that
appropriate.
elevation down at the bottom
So
of that
here's the
little
question was, were these shutters, if we're looking to put true shutters that cover the width of the window, were there shutters on this house when it was manufactured back in 49, was it? Did it come with shutters, do we know? Or were they added?
I don't know.
If it originally came with the house, and we're trying to preserve this the historic nature of said house, it came with the house.
But it probably came with maybe aluminum siding instead of vinyl siding.
That's what I was
do you think?
thinking.
It's
Probably
very
like
true back in the.
8-inch aluminum,
40s,
probably.
50s, yes. I don't think vinyl was a thing back then.
I'm not seeing shutters on some of these old prefab stuff, so probably not.
Most houses did not have shutters. In fact, German villages really, if you take shutters off of your house, they likely will not let you put them back on.
Oh, really?
They've totally shifted gears there, along with, same thing in Cleveland, Preservation Society is the same way, because most of the old houses, except for like a big plantation house, most of the houses never had shutters. It was something that started getting added, and people thought, oh, that looks nice, and it became a status thing. I mean, shutters would be difficult on your place. So you've got some windows that go right up against the eaves.
Yeah.
And the gables that would be hard for you to even get a shutter in. So it'd be-
Sure, those would
you've
be
got some,
kinda
you've got
tough.
some challenges there as well.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. I just feel like without the shutters, it's very lacking in detail, because there's no real aesthetic
I would
trim
agree.
anywhere, so.
But I don't think we need to try to force a true size shutter for that big window in the front. I think that's going to get a little hard to do.
It could, and it may just look really heavy and continuous across
Yeah.
there. But if this was a more historic house with a big window, then I
Right,
think I would push that.
Correct.
I like Dave's full idea. Even if you don't actually represent it, you just pretend it's there.
So you think we could table this with the recommendation that they provide more information, specifics on lighting, shutters and windows and doors?
Was that a motion?
It can be. I would like to make a motion, to approve application CA-26-018, I'm sorry, to table, not approve, I'll get this right eventually. With a recommendation for more information to be provided for the exterior lighting, the wood-clad windows and doors, and also consider another alternative for shutters other than vinyl.
I'll second.
Roger White,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Yes.
Whit Wardell,
Yes.
Carol DeGrasso,
Yes.
Rich Dobley, yes, David Kirkhope.
Yes.
Rich.
Yes.
In terms of old, new business, like I noted, I still have a bunch of landmarks applications that are kind of in the queue to tee up for you guys this year, so we're a little off pace from last year, to be honest. You guys did like 60 applications last year. We're at only 18 now, so I would have figured we've been in the 30s at this point, which is good for you guys. In some regard. It just means more people are doing stuff without telling me, that's just all that means. In terms of, kind of other old new business, as Pete discussed, kind of in that, one application, we are looking to make changes, again, just as a reminder to the Old Town District, to kind of the rules that you guys will uphold, and the zoning code update. Still making progress on that. Again, we're trying to draft more clear standards for minimum thresholds. That way, if people want to do work, you know, they have to hit a minimum target for the quality of the work they're doing for it to be considered. Some of that is posing some mental challenges for me for applications like 74 North High, 74 North High, because that's not a super old house, it's a newer house. So I'm trying to work through that, but just as we get the draft along to where it goes before Planning and Zoning Commission, I will send it to you all to aggressively mark it up, figure out if it's on the right path, ask questions. You know, please don't just receive it and then put it away, because this will be like the chance to either have a really good change or a really disastrous change that we're gonna have to change again if it doesn't work. So really think of it as more of like, how would you apply it? If, you know, you had applicants and you were told this is like your rules to follow, you wouldn't be able to waver from it. So how would you apply it? So just keep that in mind as we move drafts forward. I'm hoping I'll have something to you guys in the next 3 months you have to look at. That's a little more concrete. I don't really have anything for.
You know what, I got a question about the pergola thing. Do these, the ones that, have you got any other applications for pergolas?
You had a sneak peek of one last month that I forgot to Photoshop out of the drawing Luke presented to you guys. So I don't know if anybody caught it, but it said proposed pergola and had a picture on there.
I mean, do they come to you and say, what do we need for me to present this as an application?
That would be lovely. It's more like, I want to do this.
I know, but I think
Give me the permit, and then I have to walk
you
it
should
right
know,
through.
or to help you, to show them what kind of details we require
So,
to
yes,
approve something like
So
this.
typically, when, like for any type of project, if an applicant wants to come in and to do something, you know, I let them know the general rules that have been consistent throughout the commission. If it's something that doesn't happen too often, and that the conversation varies, like on, can you see it, you know, what's its influence, you know, then I try not to be super directive, because I'm not one of the 7 members that can make the decision. But if it's something that doesn't happen too often, but every time it comes up, it's the same, like, minimum detail that needs to be submitted, like removing slate, I try to be extremely clear on that, because that's a lengthy, like, behind the scenes process a homeowner has to do versus like putting together drawings and plans. But I always ask someone at least twice to make sure their plans are complete, provide enough detail, show up at the meeting to have a discussion, because those are the 3 things that make an application last a long time if you don't do that. So,
I mean, let's just take the Talbot pergola as an example. If something like that comes in again, would you say, I need more detail?
I always am asking for that, but it's up to the commission if it's appropriate enough at the meeting.
You know,
I can give someone a pulse check, but I can't stop someone from submitting.
We
because this is a
tabled 2
design work.
applications tonight, and that, I would have loved to have had more information, and we could have possibly, the last one, approved that one. For sure. If we'd had a little bit more information and the applicant standing there.
Yeah.
The 2 that were tabled did not have applicants here this evening.
Yep.
So that's usually what I tell people will happen.
Some are not new to the process.
Right.
So. Did anybody make it to OPG for the opening?
I did not.
I wasn't invited.
I went to the public open house the next morning.
I
so
sent,
that
did
was-
anybody not get
Why
my
didn't, they had a
email?
public open house?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Forwarded
that.
on. Did it
I was-
not come through?
I was invited, but I had other obligations.
It's nice, they've done a nice job.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to go through it, the tour's kind of neat. I'm really surprised they let people walk through with that many holes in the floor still, but.
Yes, that's, I got a little
Especially all
dizzy. I have a
the way
problem with
at the top.
heights.
Right, yeah, there's lots of places you could fall in, but. I have one question on that, with that said. I am almost certain that the windows that we approved for that were supposed to have Jiffy grids applied
Correct.
to the outside.
Correct.
That has not happened, and they are as modern looking as they can be. It's the only thing that I would say I'm disappointed in, because that's the historical society.
That is,
And
that is.
those, we have not approved any grids between the
I know
glass.
they're short on funds, so maybe they trim, or maybe that's the to-do list, yeah.
Maybe so, I mean, I hate to, with all the work that's gone into it, I hate to pick at it, but the same thing, it's like, it's the historical commission.
Yeah.
There is a very specific Jiffy grid profile that was actually even presented and approved.
Oh.
So from, just as a general on that project, they only have partial occupancy because they're still working through some building-related items, and they also need to complete all the zoning-related items. So whenever they are at the site work completion stage, I will walk the site and create them a punch list of things to get completed. So that would be an item that would have ended up on the punch list, and that they would have to get that corrected before they get final occupancy on the building.
I don't think there's too many. There's there in the front, and then I think the two windows that are in the back were the only ones.
It's it'd be the new vestibule, the new storefront that mirrors the garage door, and I think the window that was to the left of where the hopper filled the tracks.
Yeah.
I think that was those
That's the
three
ones I
areas.
Yeah, so it's not too big a deal, but I just feel like that would make a difference, considering all the people that we haven't allowed to put grids between the glass. But they did a nice job. That's gonna be a great thing for the
It's
community.
amazing, yeah.
Is there any more on the Heitmeyer project on Liberty?
I think they're waiting on the zoning update.
They were what, we're gonna tear down the yellow house and the garage and actually put,
Yeah.
3 or 4 townhouses.
Yeah, I've
from
seen
the
a couple
brick
concepts.
house to the alley.
Yes. Yeah, there's been a couple concepts proposed, but ultimately they're waiting to see what the new zoning code will permit. That way they're not planning for something they ultimately can't
Right,
submit
okay.
permits for.
Anything else? I would like to make a motion that we adjourn. The time is 8:24.
I'll second. David Graycraft,
Yes.
Rich Dowdy, yes. Pete Lynch,
Yes.
Whit Wardell,
Yes. Who seconded that?
Rich.
Thank you.
Carol DeGrasso,
Yes.
Patrick Lynch,
Yes.
Roger White.
Yes.